Okay, I find that people talk about and complain about so much how difficult dating is in your 20s, but low-key, I think having and maintaining healthy friendships is even harder. With busy schedules, everyone having a midlife crisis trying to figure out what they're doing with their lives, and just constant life changes, and honestly, it never feeling like we can get a break. It's very hard to either make new friends or keep up with your older ones. A lot of the time, I feel like people just tend to not even really be on the same page, which results in a loss of those friendships. So if this is you and this is something that you may have been struggling with or something you may need advice for, girl, you are in the right place today, because we are going to be talking about all of these things and everything that I wish I would have known, everything that I wish someone would have told me while going through these trials and tribulations with people. We're gonna go through it all today. We're gonna talk about how to build them, how to keep them, how to find them, how to know if they're worth it or not, and overall just advice that I truly wish I had in my first couple of years of being in my 20s, and even like my late, like being 19, 18. I really wish I would have known these things, because I would have saved a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of tears. So I'm gonna help you today to avoid wasting any more energy on people who do not deserve it, okay? So let's get into it. Usually I put the most important tip or advice at the end of the video, but I'm gonna put it in the beginning of the video, because this is something that literally, if you do not master this, none of this shit will make sense, okay? And that is to learn what type of friend you are and learn what type of friend you need or want in your life. I think a very common reason why a lot of friendships don't last in their 20s is because we never really understood what that person needed or wanted in the first place. We never understood that person fully. Just like how in a romantic relationship, it's really crucial to understand your partner and to know like how they like to be loved and what their love language is and what makes them feel loved. It's important to have that same understanding in your friendships. If you don't know what type of friend this person needs in their life, then how are you going to be that person for them? And how are they going to feel like you are that person for them? You guys are just gonna continue this damn spider web. You guys are just gonna continuously clash because you're not understanding what each person needs. People value different things when it comes to how they're being treated. One person may value quality conversations more, while another person may value consistency more, just checking in more, even if it's not like a long, in-depth conversation, if it's just a hey, how are you doing type of thing. So before we do anything, it is extremely important to understand someone. Number two, the length of a friendship is not equivalent to the quality of the friendship. That is tea, bitch. People will use this excuse time and time and time again. Like, oh my god, we've been friends for 10 plus years. You're my best friend, but I haven't talked to you in 2 years. Like, bitch, no. Okay, that's not how this works. Someone that you've known for 10 years can have a weaker relationship than someone that you've known for 1 year. Because if you're not putting in all that effort, if you're not being consistent with that person, if you're not keeping up and maintaining with the friendship, no matter how long you've been together or how long you've known each other, that quality can dwindle. I feel like I have a lot of sass right now. I need to chill. As time moves forward, we grow up, and sometimes the amount of time that you've known someone just doesn't justify how different you might actually be now that you got older. And that's okay. Number three, understand that people can and will outgrow each other. You may not like the idea of putting all this time and effort into a friendship that you just grew up with this person and they've just been in your life for so long and you just can't let it go that easily. That first portion of our lives, like being kids, being teenagers, is such a small portion of the rest of our life, and we just have so much more growing, so much more learning, so much more experiencing to do. So if that one person or whoever is not aligning with your values and the things that you want to start doing and the activities that you like or the mindset that you have, then you kind of have to disregard who they were before, because you and them are not that same person anymore. You guys are different people now. You're grown-ups. You're not the same people you were when you were in middle school or high school. So you can't keep holding on to that idea of that person, because it honestly doesn't exist anymore, and neither does your past self. People are meant to be in your life for a season. They're meant to come into your life to teach you certain things or to show you certain things or to help you learn something new about yourself. But then once that season is over, it's kind of time for that person to move on, and that means it's time for you to move on as well, because that is the only way that we as human beings and as 20-somethings are going to grow and evolve and become our best selves. That friendship or relationship served its purpose. You guys guys had great memories, and now it's time to go make new ones with different people. Number 4, people will make time for who and what they want to make time for. Okay, run that back. I say this as loud as I possibly can because it took me forever to understand this. I feel like I had so many instances where I would always wonder why it's so difficult for me to make plans with someone, or to get into contact with someone, or for someone to treat me the way they treat somebody else. And oftentimes I just told myself they're just busy, or oh, you know, that's just how they are. But then you start seeing how people treat other people, and then you compare that to how they treat you, and it's like, okay, well,
that's not the same.
And that's when I started to realize sometimes you just won't be on the list for who and what people make time for in their lives. And that's totally fine. But that just clearly lets you know that you need to take your energy, your efforts, your time elsewhere and move on. Make someone else, make something else more important than dwelling on whether or not this person messes with you or whether or not this person actually cares about you, because it's very clear. It's crystal clear. So it's time to move on and redirect our energy. Number 5. This one is kind of like a hot take, but I'm gonna say it. Your friends should not drain your social battery. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Think about a time where you were around like a crowd or a group of people and you had to, you know, socialize, and you just felt like you could not be around them for that long, or you felt like your social battery was draining and you needed to go home and you needed to recharge and you needed to like be a little hermit crab for a couple days because you need to reset. I feel like we've all experienced that. And I think that's a normal thing that people go through. But if these are supposedly your friends and people that you really value hanging around and people that you spend a lot of your time with, but they're draining your energy like that, then I don't think those two things go well together. I am a firm believer that if your social battery feels like it's on a timer when you're with company, you may not be with good company, or as good of a company as you think you are. I know we all have to recharge our batteries at some point, but if you feel like every time you hang out with this person or these people, you have to recharge after, then I don't think these are your people, babes. Majority of the time that you're spending with your actual friends, I feel like your social battery will drain, but it should be going at the slowest speed possible to where you don't even realize it because you're just having the best time. Number 6, surround yourself with like-minded people. They always say that you are going to turn into the 3 people you spend the most time with. So if you're spending most of your time with people who don't have the same hobbies as you, don't have the same values as you, don't have the same mindsets as you, then it's gonna clash with even just who you are. You're gonna adopt a lot of those traits from those people, and if they have bad traits, bad habits, bad mindsets, you're going to develop those as well. And it's different from being around people who negatively influence your life versus people who challenge your life. So if these people are actually negatively changing who you are and you don't like it, then you need to start rethinking the 3 people that you're spending the most time with. You want to be selective about who deserves your time, who gets your time, who gets your energy, and you want to make sure that this brings something better or new or positive into your life every single time. Number 7, shoot your shot. This is about making friends, okay? Making friends in your 20s is honestly really hard because you really have to take initiative. You have to take initiative. You have to go out there and make friends. I didn't go to college after high school, so it was a lot harder for me to be able to interact with people because I didn't have a lot of times where I got a chance to interact with people. So that forced me to have to get out of my comfort zone, get out of my apartment, and actually go to places where I get to socialize. So that's joining teams, that's maybe getting a job, that's maybe going to yoga classes or Pilates classes, or maybe going to a coffee shop often and making friends with the baristas, like different things like that. You have to put yourself out there, and once you're out there, you gotta shoot your shot. You can't be scared. That anxiety that you feel when you're trying to build up the courage to talk to someone, I guarantee you they may be feeling that same way. So just rip the band-aid off because you're already gonna end up doing that anyways, and just say hi and see where it goes. Number 8, stop giving more than you get. Girl, you need to know your worth. We have 0 time to waste on people who don't reciprocate the energy that we're giving them. You deserve better. Sometimes in any type of relationship, the percentage of who gives more will be 60 to 40, maybe a 70 to 30 on a bad week. But for the most part, your efforts should be a 50-50 split. If I'm treating you this way, you better treat me this way. If I'm going all in like this, you better go all in like this too. Sometimes life happens where the percentages change, and that's fine. But as long as we resurface and come back to an even split, that's gonna be a healthy friendship and relationship. Because as we are constantly working on ourselves ourselves, if we want to maintain and keep healthy friendships, we need to constantly be working on those friendships as well. I'm not saying this is supposed to be a 24/7 talking every day, checking in every day, hanging out every week type of thing, but I am saying that just as you keep up with certain things in your life like TV shows or news, or you listen to new songs, you can take those efforts and put that into a person as well. And if they aren't making that effort as you are, then we already know what to do. Number 9 is to let go of assumptions. We are all the biggest assumers. We assume that people are going to react a certain way or treat us a certain way or do something for us on a certain holiday or whatever. We assume that we deserve certain things and that we're gonna get those certain things. We assume that someone did something because of what we did. Assumptions will quite literally kill you. Not actually, but mentally they will mess you up. So let them go. If you really want to know why someone did what they did or said what they said or didn't do what they didn't do, then ask. Communicate. Use your words. But don't use your brain to try and make fake scenarios and then make that make sense, and then you assume that about them, but then you don't tell them, so now you have this little like internal beef with that person that they don't even know about. So just stop assuming. Promise you it will bring you so much more clarity, ironically, and it will give you much more of a peace of mind. And number 10, my favorite tip of advice is to fill your own cup. Friendships can be a lot of work and sometimes frustrating, but people will always be people at the end of the day. You have to remember, just as you are doing life for the first time, so is everybody else. And you can't be mad at them for that. But what you can do is, while being understanding about everybody's situation, is take care of your own self. So that if a friendship isn't going the way that you want it to go, it's not gonna really affect your brain because you're working on yourself and you have mental clarity and you are at peace and you are understanding. Be your own best friend, because at the end of the day, you are going to go through this entire lifetime with nobody else but yourself. Everybody may not stick around for the whole marathon, but you know who will? You. A friendship is supposed to be a complement or an addition to your life, but it's not supposed to make or break it. It's not supposed to be the glue that sticks it all together. The best way to be the best type of friend is by starting with the relationship that you have with yourself, and to make that relationship so strong that literally nothing can break it. Are you fulfilling your own needs, or are you relying on someone else to do that for you? So when that someone else isn't there, nobody can fill your needs anymore. Are you creating the best version of yourself, or is the best version of yourself only existent when you're around a person? The success of any relationship literally starts with you, babes. So we've got to perfect ourselves, we've got to work on ourselves, and we've got to take care of ourselves. At the end of the day, it is really all just a part of life. We are going and growing through the motions, and sometimes the motions are going to be rocky. They're not going to be smooth all the time. But with these tips, I genuinely hope that it maybe gave you some insight or some quality advice on how to take care and handle certain situations, and just how to really cope with everything and to understand everything a little bit better. If you guys liked this video and found it helpful, I would really appreciate if you let me know down in the comments. If you have not subscribed already, I don't know why, but that option is still available and always will be available for you. So you might as well just get it out the way now, okay? I love you guys so much. You are the coolest person ever, and I appreciate you so much for watching this video, and I promise you everything in life will work out, okay? You will find your people if you haven't already. If you do have your people already, hold on to them, maintain them, take care of them, because that is such a precious thing in life. When you find people who understand you, people who align with you, people who inspire you, like, that is fun. Whatever stage you are in your friendship journey, in your 20s journey, just take it easy and don't be too hard on yourself, because it will happen when it happens and you will be fine. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video super soon, okay? Bye.